With the exception of wartime, in the UK, general elections must happen at least every 5 years. When an election is called, Parliament is dissolved, and members of Parliament go back to being ordinary citizens who must campaign to be elected. There are 650 parliamentary seats, which cover geographical areas called constituencies. Each constituency contains roughly 73,000 voters. The constituency boundaries in England, Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales are drawn by independent bodies called boundary commissions. You can stand for election in the UK if you're a British, Irish or Commonwealth citizen who is over the age of 18. You simply have to register and pay a deposit of £500, which you get back if you get more than 5% of the vote. Within an individual constituency, there is an election held using a voting system called first past the post to elect a single member of Parliament who represents that constituency in Parliament. Voters are able to cast one vote for the candidate of their choice, and whichever candidate gets the most votes is the winner. From the point of view of the party leaders, the point of a general election is to try to win the most seats in the House of Commons, because whichever party leader is able to command majority support in the House of Commons becomes Prime Minister. Because the UK uses an electoral system called first past the post, which tends to deliver parliamentary majorities for the winning party, the result is usually decisive. Take the last election for example. Keir Starmer's Labour Party won the most votes, with 33.7% of the vote, and this delivered 63.3% of the seats in the House of Commons, giving the Labour Party a majority of 174 seats in the House of Commons and making Keir Starmer Prime Minister. But what happens if no party leader wins a majority? In these circumstances, we say that the country has elected a hung parliament. This is a parliament in which no single party holds a majority of seats, and so it's not clear who, if anybody, can demonstrate that they have the support of a majority of MPs in the House of Commons. In this situation, there are broadly three things that can happen. First, the party with the most seats can attempt to govern without a majority. This is called a minority government, and this last happened in February 1974 when Harold Wilson replaced Ted Heath as Prime Minister. Minority governments tend to be weak and unstable, so it's not surprising that Wilson was forced to call another election in the same year to deliver a small majority for the Labour Party. Secondly, two or more parties can form a coalition, which means that they join forces and govern together. This last happened in 2010 when the Conservatives and the Liberal Democrats agreed to form a coalition government which lasted a full 5 years. Finally, if no party is able to demonstrate that they have enough support in Parliament to form a government, Parliament would be dissolved and a fresh general election would be called in an attempt to deliver a more decisive outcome.